All right. Well, hey, internet world. How's everybody doing? Thank you for showing up to my internet house here, into my house. It's always weird getting on the internet, but thank you for being here. If you could just write your name or just where you're from so we know you're here, so then I know I'm not just talking to nobody here. It helps with the engagement there. So let's see who's on here. And if any new people, any recognizable people, we got Katie. She's hoping she makes it. Raphael's here. Nico's here from a small town, in the Pacific Ocean, San Pancho, Mexico. Would not miss this for the world. Let's stack some bricks. That's right. I was telling Nico one time, I said, meditation is kind of like building a house. And every time you meditate, you kind of stacking another brick. And, you may not notice big changes right away. Like, that day, sometimes you can. Sometimes you can build a house really fast. But most of the time, you're just stacking bricks every time you meditate. And after 3 months, 6 months, a year, you start to look back and go, whoa, man, that house is starting to look pretty good. I might want to live here. So that's kind of what meditation is for me. So that's where he came up with that. We talked about that. Elizabeth's here from Quebec. Thank you for showing up. Raphael from New Haven, Connecticut. We have Raphael from Miami and Raphael from New Haven. I got that confused for a minute. All right, let's see. All right, Katie made it. She's a little sick, but she made it though. Congratulations. Um, Casba, I'm sorry. I'll probably never pronounce that right until you can tell me over the phone. But thank you for coming. Got Jane here from Vermont. Let's see. Who else is on here? So, I've got Pavlina's here. Oh, Pavlina's in Spain. She's usually from London, but she teleported to Spain. I hope you're having a good time over there. You're there for good reasons. I love Spain. I almost moved there one time. I mean, I didn't plan to move there. I just went over there to visit, and I almost didn't leave. And then I realized I didn't speak Spanish, so I had to come on back. All right. Denny's here from Miami. Thanks for showing up. So if you're new on here, the only thing we ask is, all right, Amy showed up from West Palm Beach. And if you're new, Monica's here, California. All right, so if you're new on here, the only thing we ask is you just write where you're from. There's no cover charge. We don't sell you anything. We don't ask for donations, or we just ask you show up if you're curious about meditation and just try to come meditate with us. It's a powerful group that gets together. We do this every Monday, and it's a powerful group of meditators that show up. And so I want to encourage you to come over and do that with us here at 8 o'clock. I sit here and let you guys listen to me for a little while. Then we all get together and go meditate at 8. So, and that's what's going on. Now, let's see here. We've got a poll going on. Let me see if I can pull this up. I swear I'm never prepared. All right, let's see here. Oh, there's so many buttons. All right, let's see what happens with this. 1 second. All right, so we've got Blessings of the Energy 5 we could do. Synchronize your energy to the Mystic. Synchronize your energy to Abundance and the Alchemist. So go ahead and vote over there if you haven't already. And that's how we determine which meditation we're going to do. And if you're new on here and you don't know which meditation is which one, just pick one. It doesn't really matter. We're all going to meditate and do it. And these are all Dr. Joe Dispenza meditations. And most everybody that comes on here seems to come from his world. So Rosario made it up from Miami. All right, let's go for the breaks. Dana's here from Illinois. She spoke for the first time, I think, last week on here. Thank you for talking. And all right, Rayla's here from Mandeville, Louisiana. So so we've got the poll there. Just make sure you vote. And then here at about 8 o'clock in about 15 minutes, we'll get started on the meditation. They're usually about an hour long. And I always recommend, if you can't do the full hour because you've got something else better to do, just come in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes. There's even a little bit of meditation is good for you. So I highly recommend it for everybody. So that's what I would suggest doing. Now, A couple things. I had a couple people reach out to me this week, and I don't want to mention any names because I don't want Jen from Miami to get upset with me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She didn't actually call me, or she did, but we didn't have anything to talk about that I'm about to talk about. But I'm just picking on her because I know she could take it. But I had a couple people reach out to me that were frustrated with meditation, and they were frustrated about their thoughts about how like these previous experiences would come up in their life, and they felt like it slowed them down with the meditation, and it also just kind of made them relive that moment, that memory, and it's very distracting, and it was to them, and it was very unpleasant. But my belief with this is I get that meditation is not always a pleasant experience. Now, it will lead you to more pleasant experiences in your life in general, but is not always going to be pleasant. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you don't really get a say in how any of this happens. So if those things come up, you just kind of have to lean into them. You have to realize if you start to get worried or scared. I've heard a lot of people say that. It's not just one or two. It's a very common thing. So people seem to get scared or have a tendency to lean towards that. I mean, scared might be a strong statement, but it leans somewhere in there. Because it's bringing these traumas up, and they don't want to reprogram themselves of this or that, or they want it out of the meditation, and I get it, but that's when it's supposed to come up. And I believe when people say, use the term, you need to deal with it, that's the best way to deal with it. When it comes up in a meditation, you got to think of that as like catching a big fish, and you got to get excited when that comes up because you don't get to choose when it comes up. And so when it does, you just have to try to just let it be there and just not engage with it. Don't go down the road of trying to relive it. You have to remind yourself that that you're sitting on the couch. You're probably in one of the safest places you could possibly be. So just relax, lean back, and it's going to be unpleasant. But if you do that and just relax and not engage with it and build that tension up and start flexing your neck muscles and start getting anxiety and frustration with it, then you're actually going to I believe that's when you start to reprogram your mind to where you're never going to forget these things. But the intensity of how you experience them and relive them in your mind is going to be, the volume of that's going to be turned down. And so I think that's how a lot of people can overcome their traumas is through meditation. So don't think that you're doing it wrong because these things come up and they have to not be there in order to meditate. I personally believe when they're there, that's what you got to work on. These meditations have got nothing to do with you and what your preference and what you want to do. A lot of people go in saying that they want to manifest this, they want some kind of healing, or they want this to happen, and so they want all these things to happen. They have a whole list. I find that when I talk from doing this channel and having some videos out there, I have a lot of people reach out to me, but I see a lot of common threads with people. There's almost really about two different personalities of people meditating, people that are frustrated and people that just are connected with it. But when you get in there and those things come up, you go in there with like a list of things that you want to have happen. I think it's okay. You want to set an intention up front, but after that, you just want to let go of the whole thing. You want to just hop into the meditation and have no expectations. It's like going to a movie theater and you don't get to pick the movie. You show up, and whatever's on the screen is what gets played. And you need to enjoy it, whether it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Or it might just be a white, black screen the whole time. And you go, man, I paid money for this thing? Let me see Star Wars or something. Everybody wants to see Star Wars, where you don't get to see that every day. You might show up, and it might just be a boring experience. And but as I was talking about earlier, me and Nico were talking one day. You're stacking bricks every day. And so there's work being done that you may not see. Everybody wants validation of something that's of why they're sitting here for an hour. you're going to have to trust it. If you haven't had like an amazing experience or seen a lot of results in your life, you're going to have to trust and believe with the people that may be in this group or in other groups or just people out there. There's a lot of reasonable people that meditate, and they're doing it for a reason. Nobody wants to waste an hour of their time. Time is very precious. And when I first got started, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous for me to sit there for an hour. But because of the benefits and the results that I've seen with meditation, I have to do an hour a day. Otherwise, it just doesn't feel right to me now. That's just my experience. I can't believe that I do an hour a day. It is a lot, but I'll say this: everything that I do now is better. I've got better friends because I'm convinced because I meditate. I make more money because I meditate, and not only just make more money, but it's like easier to make money. I do less and I make more money. I mean, that's a great trade-off. I mean, I could go work for 12 hours really hard and make some money, or I could go meditate for an hour, and for some reason it just works out. It makes everything easy and just flow better. And so another thing is I was actually meditating a couple nights ago, and I'm always thinking of ways to try to explain meditation, or just curious. I'm curious myself of what is it like? How do you explain it to somebody? How do you? I mean, that is why they call it the mystical. But I believe that if you're struggling with meditation, with those things like I was talking about, those previous traumas coming up, or unwanted thoughts, things that bother you, you're going to have to just sit there and get over yourself and not make it about you. These things, meditation's got nothing to do with you. You have to figure out how to get out of the way of yourself. And this kind of came to me in a meditation in the sense of how to explain it, how to get out of the way was, if you go most every day, actually probably every day, I think everybody wakes up and you're controlling everything that happens in your life. You got your day planned out. You got your cell phone. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to go you're controlling everything that happens. Everything you do, you're in some form of control of that. And meditation is the one time or the 1 hour or the 15 minutes a day that you spend where you don't actually control anything. And a lot of people that are frustrated with meditation, they're trying to control the thing. They're trying to take over and do it their way. I got news for you. You don't do it your way. You don't get that option. It's you plug the cell phone up to the computer, as I like to say, and once that happens, you're on for the ride. I mean, you don't have much say. It might be the good, the bad, and the ugly, and whether you like it or not, you don't get to design these meditations. It's like going to your favorite restaurant. A lot of people will go to their favorite restaurant, and they'll go in there and they'll order a drink, they'll order a water, they'll order the steak, they'll go through the menu and order whatever it is that they want, and be very particular about it. I want no onions with no, light on the mayonnaise, and but don't put any salt on the steak, or whatever people's problems are. And so they'll go through this whole list of what they want and what they don't want. And a lot of people are going into meditations as if they're going to a restaurant. They're ordering it their way. They're trying to design it their way, and that's just not the way to do it. That's getting in the way of yourself. It's got nothing to do with you and what you care about. I'm convinced of it because I've just had too many experiences that have shown me otherwise. And the people, it's almost like you have to show up to that, like this. You have to tell yourself, all right, we're going to go to this restaurant. You already go to plenty of restaurants and order whatever you want to, and you pay for it. It's no big deal, and it's great. It's a great service. But here at this meditation, it's like, all right, well, when you do this, you have to get excited about going to a restaurant. That's very exciting. Everybody talks about it. You got to go, but when you get there, you don't have a say on anything, and they just tell you what to do. And so you may show up there, and there may be a 3-hour long wait. You may show up there and they may sit you down, and there's filet mignon for everybody, lobster tails, and everything's perfect, and wine. And there's, you may show up and you may just get a grilled cheese sandwich sometimes. It just might get boring, but you don't have any control. But you need to get excited and curious about what's going to happen at this restaurant. The people that are successful, I say successful, the people that or really kind of connect with the meditation and receive benefits from it, they don't talk about what it is that they want or how they want the meditation to be. They talk about how the meditation was, how the meditation experience was for them. They don't talk about to themselves or to other people how. Now, I'm not saying that that's the it's not bad to talk about stuff, but that's just a common thread that I've seen between the people that are struggling and people that aren't struggling with it. The people that are struggling with it are talking about what it is they want to eat, or just what they want, how they want this to happen. And the people that are not struggling with it, they just talk about what happened. Let me tell you what happened, because we got nothing to do with it. It's not you made this happen in there. It's like, you're not going to believe what I just saw. You're not going to believe what just happened. You're not going to believe. That's what happens when you really get out of the way of yourself and don't make it about yourself. And spend time and let those thoughts come up and don't engage with them. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I always say that because my mind, it makes sense, but I don't know if it came out that always the way I want it to. But that's a common complaint that people have, is those thoughts coming up, and also just how they want it to be. They want to do it their way, and you can't do it your way. I mean, you can, and maybe you might get a little. I feel like you might just be on the fringe of meditation, but people really need some benefits, and that's going to be the main thing. Is you just got to pretend like you're going to that restaurant. And you don't get to decide where you're going to sit down. You don't get to decide what you're going to order. You may eat. You may not eat. You may get something to drink. You might not. I don't know. But either way, when you get done, you should be excited and curious to what's going to happen next time. Sort of keep you coming back, because you will have things show up and you will have this great experience. And then you're going to have just a bad experience. And it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Let's see here. All right, Amy from Indiana showed up. Katie has something. She said something on here that maybe I could share. I haven't read it, but most of our unresolved traumas are impacting our lives in some way. When they come up in meditation, we have a chance to finally release it. Yes, I totally. That's much eloquent way of saying it than I did. But yeah, I totally agree. That's when you can do the work to be able to let that go. And you're never going to forget what happened, but that doesn't mean that you have to relive it in that way or go down a road of, you don't have to, what do they say, dying 1,000 deaths. You can remember it, but you can also move on from it. Put that energy somewhere else. Yes, so Kaz was talking about on 11/11, there's a walking meditation coming up that Dr. Joe's doing. So if you go on his website, he'll tell you all about it, and there's a meditation to do. And it also seems like, I was looking into it yesterday, there's groups all over the country that if you could, on his website, he'll kind of have a connection or a resource to a certain city that you're located in, that of people that are going to be doing the walking meditation then. So that's 11/11, I guess next week, or this Saturday, I think it is. So anyway, hope that makes sense. All right, let me pull up. I got to pull up the poll here because I can't see it right now. Well, let me see. All right, so we've got the blessings of the energy 5. We've got synchronize your energy to the mystic, synchronize your energy to abundance, and the alchemist. Right now we've got a tie. We got 18 people voted, and there's 21 people on here. So 19, 20, 20. We got 3 people that haven't voted. So somebody's got to go over there and vote. Again, if you haven't ever heard of these meditations, just vote. And if you're not going to meditate, just hit the button over there. Just have fun. We're not going to send you anything. Don't make me flip a coin. We need to get this resolved before 8 o'clock, so then we know what we're going to meditate on. So, yes, if you're new here, we're going to get started here in a few minutes. I'm going to give you a link. Actually, I think the link is in the description below, but I will put it in the comments as well, too. And if you're on the Facebook group is Meditation Mondays by Gregory Hodges. You can join there. I seem to put a lot of the announcements there, but if it's also live streaming over there. But if you're on there, you actually have to come to my YouTube page in order to see the comments and to probably see the description as well, too, where the Zoom link will be. So let's see here. All right, we've got blessings of the energy 5. We still got some people that need to vote. We need some people to vote over here. It's a close call. All right, it's tying up. Synchronize your energy to abundance. 30% blessings of the energy 5. We got a hot race tonight. Yes, indeed. It's like a horse race or something. This is exciting. So, all right. Well, if we're at a tie, we'll have to figure something out here, but I'm sure we can. All right, let me get this Zoom call together here. And I think the link is in the description below, but I'm going to put it in the comments as well, too. All right, let's see here. All right. Here's the link in the comments as well, too, if people want to start coming over. And let's see. Oh, I'm doing synchronize your energy to abundance. I'm shutting it off right there. Yep, that's what we're doing. So that wins at 33%. Blessings of the Energy 5 had 29%. All right, people are coming over. All right, if you can, just come on over to the Zoom link, and we're going to get started here in about 5 minutes. Let me see if I've got an intro on this. Let me see here. 8 minutes. All right. All right. So if you're on the live stream, just come on. We've got the link in the description below, but also have a link in the comments as well, too. And if you've never meditated before, just come over and check the freak show out. Come do 5 minutes with us, see what it's all about. Then you can leave. Nobody's keeping you here. So, yeah, if you can only do 15 minutes, do 15 minutes with us. It's going to be about an hour long. So, all right, got to bring the people in. All right, give us just a couple of minutes because people are trickling in over here. Rosario's coming in. All right, we got Amy here. Polly Lee showing up. All right, Nico's here. Loretta's here. Tina. Okay. All right, if anybody's right now's a good time to come over because we're going to get started. All right, let me fix one thing here. All right, I'm going to start off and do, let me see here.